field in this crosstown collision between the Whitmer Panthers and the St. John's Titans from Whitmer High School. It's a playoff atmosphere, and technically this is a playoff game. Good evening, everyone. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you from Whitmer High School. And we are in week 10, the final week of the regular season. However, even though officially the playoffs start next week, Steve, this is a playoff game because as we mentioned in the pregame show, the winner is in, the loser goes home.
You're absolutely right. It all starts here. It's all business tonight. Both teams, you can sense it from the coaching staff all the way down to the cheerleaders. Everybody is stoked and ready to go for this here big, mega matchup.
As you remember, last year the Whitmer Panthers came into this ball game 10-0. They were playing over at Bowser St. John's, was looking to earn their way into the state playoffs. They upset the Panthers and then knocked them off here at Whitmer Stadium the following week, and they advanced all the way to the semifinals. There's not a lot of love lost between these two teams, and now it goes back to just recently. These teams have a lot of history going way back into the 70s, and Coach Pearson from St. John's, he played at St. John's against Whitmer. They knocked his team, his senior year, out of the playoffs, and then he was at Start, the rival down Tremainsville Road here. So there's a lot of intensity here. Everybody knows what's at stake, and we're hoping for a good one.
Two traditional powerhouse programs clashing here tonight.
As you take a look at the Region 2 Division 1 computer standings, those are the records, but that's the order they are in the computer points. Number 8 there is St. John's. Number 9 is Whitmer. A win will vault either one of these high enough into that top 8 position where they will be into the playoffs. And with a few other things happening, the winner possibly could get a home game.
Possibly, very possibly. It's still possible for St. John's to lose it. A lot of things would have to happen for them to get into a state playoff berth, but they would like to earn it the old-fashioned way with the big W here tonight.
Well, Whitmer will receive the opening kickoff. Blake Houdan will kick off for St. John's. Deep for Whitmer. It's going to be taken short by Perry. He's got a little running room. He's got more. Seaman finally tripped up there by St. John's' Adam Saluski. But Whitmer will put the ball in play 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
You know, if Saluski doesn't get that leg tackle there, boy, Perry's got a tail of real estate. Get a look at the Hogs up front. Wright, Sampson, Ernst, Sumner, and Kistner. Whitmer. Backfield, Johnson, Placencio, Andrews, Perry, and Speck. Your quarterback is number 3, J.J. Falk.
Whitmer comes out in a no-back set to start out. Trips and twins. They shift into a single-back set. Boat under center. Slot back trap. Dances around. Got room across the 35 up to the 38-yard line.
Joe Placencio, he's what was designed to go outside. He saw a cutback lane, took it and cut it back. Right in between the hash marks around the 30-yard line. That's a very, very tender spot on the field. It's not in the greatest of shape.
Between the hash marks is the worst shape the field is in. It is very soft and soggy out there. Single back set, double slot. Fold on the option. He's going to keep it. Slips a little bit and brought down there. He's going to lose a good 1 to 2 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Panthers.
Up front for the Titans, you have Sean, Terry, Huckabee, and Petrie. Linebackers, Ramsey, Jacoby in the middle, and Marcus Watt. We'll talk about him later on. Mike Floyd, Wheeler, Hartwig, and Shearing will be your defensive backfield for the St. John's Titans.
Speck's your single back, double slot. Pope gives it to Speck, left side, cuts back. He's got running room enough for 1st down. He's got all sorts of real estate ahead of him. Inside the 30 and finally ran out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 20-yard line. Run out of bounds by Adam Slewski, I believe it was. Or excuse me, that was Jay Wheeler runs him out of bounds. Their numbers are getting dirty already here.
Already.
Here, and a big run for the Panthers. 1st and 10, Whitmer.
That's a huge run. It's going to give Panthers the type of momentum that the coaching staff wants. But what I like right here is how he just breaks this thing to daylight. And Wheeler has the angle on him, and he uses his speed and knocks him out of bounds.
Once again, Whitmer in the double slot. On the slot back trap, and that's going nowhere. Actually, they'll probably lose a yard or two on it. Is in there to make the tackle for St. John's is number 52, J.W. Terry. Or excuse me, yes.
J.W. is one of the pursuing linebackers. They like to utilize his athleticism getting to the football. They're going to look for him to plug those holes.
High formation for the Panthers. Second down and a little more than 10. They're at just outside the 20-yard line of St. John's opening drive. And Folk keeps it, and he's going to get to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up third down and 10.
That's smart for JJ just to hold on to that. He wanted to pitch it outside, thought better of it. Just took it and minimized his loss.
On the big third down run for the Panthers, they caught St. John's. They spread them out. St. John's looking for the pass, possibly, or option. They left that middle open, a little inside trap for the big gainer. Trips out to the left. They're going to shift back into an I formation with your tight end to the left. Expect your tailback. Folk keeps it, rolls out, dumps it out to his fullback, just over the outstretched hands of number 32, Joseph Placencio. That'll bring up fourth down for the Panthers.
Well, he had him out there on the drag route. Drag route is where you bring your fullback out of the backfield. You try to get him isolated on the linebacker. He had him, he just couldn't thread the needle right there.
Patrick Carmian with the field goal attempt. That's going to be short and left. And so the St. John's Titans come up holding the Panthers on the opening drive. And with 9:05 to go in the first quarter, we have no score. The Titans will come on the field for their first offensive possession.
You see the big offensive line for St. John's: Borger, Rector, Caney, Rayner, and Burkett, sophomores. Number 73, we'll keep an eye on him. Marcus Wise, the running back. Reiner, Harden, Frank Hauser, and your quarterback is Andrew Vollmer, 5'10", 165-pounder.
Vollmer under center, I formation for the Titans. Straight old boom right off the right side, and Wall picks up. They're going to mark it for about a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up second down and 8.
Get a look at the Whitmer Panther defense. Rotowski. You got Dubendorf, who had a huge game the last time we were here. Sean Ray. You got Razor, Ranker, and Cal Kisner. Josh Bates, Jason Steele, David Cross. And I do believe Chris Laser.
Basic I formation for the Titans.
Kyle Andrews will be.
Vollmer back to pass, looking deep. He's got his man, and just out of his hands is Howden. A nice toss there, just a little too far. He couldn't quite ring it in.
But Bates did a good job coming over the top of that, making that a very, very difficult reception.
That'll bring up third down and 6. They got to mark that about for the Titans. It's their opening drive. We're just on our way. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you here at Whitmer High School. And the intensity is high. Out of the shotgun, Vollmer. He's got trips to his right. Quick screen to the right. He's got his man. And we'll see where they mark it. He's going to be close to the first down, is Howden.
That's just a quick hitter before the defense can get anything set. You see right here, Andrew, no wasting any time at all. Just dumps it out to Blake Harden.
It is a first down for the Titans. Right at their own 30-yard line. Whitmer, both these teams off to a slow start, Steve, and after they got their kinks out, they've both been playing very well as of late. I formation, twins to the left. Vollmer to Wall. Right side, still grinding. He's going to pick up 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Whitmer will get a steady dose of Marcus Waugh. Marcus Waugh left, Marcus Waugh right, and this big fella up the middle. And I tell you, that is a load to try to bring down.
And when they give it to Marcus Waugh a lot, guess what? They're going to give it to him again. Coach Pearson philosophy of run the ball. They want to establish the run. It'll be interesting to see as the game goes on how much the interior of the field gets torn up, and if they try to avoid that, or they just say, hey, it's mud, let's dig in and go at it. Twins to your left, I formation, Vollmer. Wall left side, line of scrimmage, and beautiful defensive wall there by the Whitmer Panthers. That'll bring up another third down for the Titans.
Well, led in there by big senior defensive end, Sean Ray.
Whitmer brings in number 7, Chris Laser, and brings out linebacker number 55, Darren Baltazar, and they're going to have the extra defensive back for this third down and 6 play. The Titans will come up with twins to your right. Top of your screen, I formation, Vollmer. Rolls out to his right. Looking downfield, he's got a man wide open, and is he inbounds? Yes, he is. That is Houghton again.
But you kind of got to like early on how Vollmer is conducting this drive. Cool, calm, and collected. They just move the pocket out until he finds his man open. You see City League leaders, we saw Foley, he's some player, and Haythorne 1-2 in the league. But you see right there is Kyle Andrews. That's the big play threat for Whitmer. And then not too far behind is Blake Houghton.
Wall to the right, bounces a little further right. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Talking to Coach Pearson before the game, he thought that if they, as in any game, if you establish the line of scrimmage, it's going to be to your advantage. And I think that's, as he does in almost every game he's in and coaches, he likes to do that, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to pound at him, see if they can get an advantage running that ball, and then once in a while spread them out and run a few screens and a few quick screens to the outside and get that defense opening up.
If you notice, everything will be safe for St. John's. They won't take many chances.
As Waugh carries again, he picks up 3. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Titans. Inside the 50-yard line of Whitmer. 5:41 to go. This is the opening drive for St. John's. Whitmer had a good drive. They missed the field goal. So we are at 0-0.
This is exactly what I meant when I made the Rocky analogy at the top of the telecast, because St. John's is rather like Rocky. You know what you're going to get. They're going to be right there. They're going to be in front of you. They're going to outslug you, and they feel like they can outlast you in the long run.
Slot to the right. Waugh to single back. He's going to be dropped for a loss on 3rd down. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Titans, and they will send in the punting unit.
That's a fine play by Clay Dubendorfer. He just beats his man and gets in the backfield, disrupts that whole timing on that running attempt.
So the first drives of both teams have come up empty. Houghton will punt it away for the Titans. They rush it, and they've got it. They blocked it. It's a loose ball recovered by St. John's. And Whitmer sent the neighbor's house, and a whole block, and they got it.
Boy, did they ever. Sent a jailbreak led by number 58, which is Kyle Ranker. But you see, they all get there almost simultaneously.
And that will drive Coach Pearson nuts, because he spends a lot of time on special teams, and when he has one break down, he is not a happy camper.
Well, what that does is it turns the entire field position. What it looked like St. John's was going to back the Panthers up. The Panthers starting pretty good working shape at the 41-yard line.
Boat back to pass on 1st down. Under pressure, he gets away, and now he's dropped for a loss. Bring up 2nd down and 12.
That's some push up front by the big fellas for St. John's. Number 46, Justin Maltoff. He's getting in there. 5'10" sophomore, disrupting this. Gets away from him, but holds him up long enough for his crew to get through.
And that's what they say. You don't always have to tackle a guy. Break him out of his rhythm and wait for help. give them your help time to get there, and that's what they did on that.
Especially the quarterback. Once you make him take his eyes from up the field, you've defeated that play.
Out of the double slot, Speck's your tailback. He will get the ball right up the middle, and he'll get about 3 on the carry. That'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers. You know, when these two teams get together, 95% of the game is not fooling anybody on either side of the ball. They know what they're going to do. They know what these coaches know each other well. They know what to expect from the other coach. So it's a lot comes down to is a matter of execution and protecting the football.
Protecting the baby. That's the main thing. Which team protects the ball the best will probably come out the victor.
Trips to the right, Speck's your tailback, fold out of the shotgun. Sprints out to his right. He's got a man open, it's complete. To Nick Speck out of the backfield. And a nice toss there by Folt. He's right in the middle of a couple defenders from St. John. Speck adjusted his speed just enough so Folt could lay it in there.
Well, see, what Folt does, he's so athletic, he moves the pocket. That's like a little waggle, and he puts some touch over it, right over the safety. I think the safety almost gave up on that play, and he finds his target.
Panthers on the move again. 1st down and 10 from the St. John's 32-yard line. On the option, he slips again. Now he pitches it. Speck hangs on to it, but he's going to be thrown for a loss. Again, we're seeing a little bit of the slippiness that's in the middle of the field, and maybe there is no such word as slippiness, but it is now. In the middle of the field, because when Folt drops back for that option, he loses his footing, and that throws that timing off just a little bit and gives the St. John's defense a little more time to react.
What you're going to find is from the approximately the 30 to the 20, the field is in bad shape. As you get closer to the end zone, the field is in better and better shape between the hash marks.
Folt, middle screen. He's got a man. He's going to be brought down behind Speck. They set it up. St. John's had one defender, and he was caught. Speck was caught from behind by number 52 for St. John's, and that, of course, the man we've called already today, J.W. Terry.
But what you like to do is throw that out in front of your receiver. You see, he almost throws it a little bit too far out in front of Speck. If you can catch Speck in stride, Speck can maybe break that. That's a fine play by J-Dub.
They've converted 1 3rd down on this drive. They got 3rd and 5, looking to convert another. Folt back to pass, under pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a big loss. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the Panthers. Now in the field condition, Coach Folt's going to have to decide here. They don't have a field goal kicker to kick it this long. This is a doozy. This would be 47-yard field goal. They got to decide now if they want to try to pin him down in the corner or are they going to go for it.
You see the big fella right there, Burke, just utilizing his athleticism with the big old swim move. 6'3", 218-pound sophomore coming around that edge,
now
making life tough.
Watch for Whitmer to pooch kick it here. Fold out of the shotgun, just may take a step back, and there it is. And they're going to try to pin him in the corner. Fred Byer from St. John's, the old coach there, used to love that play, and they do pin him back just inside the 5-yard line. So although they come up with no points, they've got the Titans back on their heels.
Well, right now, Whitmer is winning the field position battle. And in a game where the conditions aren't the greatest, you definitely want to be on the short field. Whitmer can let their defense get the ball back for them. They pin them back deep, let the defense get the ball back for you, give the offense another crack.
So the Titans will put it in play, 1st and 10. They'll come out, double tights, I formation. And we have a flag. It's going to be one of two things where this came from. It's either encroachment on their defense or illegal procedure on the offense. And it's going to be a 3rd one, offsides on the offense. Offensive line must have lined up over the ball, and there's take a look at your officials tonight. Ken Bumgartner, your referee. Piracini is the umpire. Rich Myers, the linesman. Line judge is Chris Peebles. And Doug Gutzel is the back judge. It'll be first down and 12 as they move at half the distance to the goal line. Ballmer's just going to keep it, try to get a little breathing room, taking it right up the middle. He'll get it back to about the 4-yard line, and that'll bring up second down and 10. You know, when you've got a situation like this, obviously not something St. John's would do, but on the first or second down, you got Long. Whitmer's packing it tight in there. You got one-on-one coverage with your receiver. You do a little quick play action, throw that fade or post pattern. You can have some success now and then. Left side across the 5 up to the 6. That'll bring up a third down and long again for the Titans. Rusty Marvin on the carry. They mark it as 3rd and 8. We're down to 19 seconds here in the first quarter. No score. Probably be our last play of the first quarter. Ballmer under pressure from behind. He throws a short one, and an attempt to come back, but the field was a little too wet to get his footing. And with 2 seconds left, St. John's will have to punt it away from their own end zone.
And he had 2 Panthers breathing down his neck and made him get rid of the ball before he wanted to. Actually hit him before he could throw the football, which forced a short throw.
You got to keep something in mind as this game goes on. It is not raining at the time, but the field is soaking wet. The ball is going to pick up moisture. They bring a lot of balls, both teams. They'll try to keep them as dry, but as the game goes on, they'll run out of dry balls, and the balls will get heavy. As the snap rolls back to the punter, and he gets it away, and it's going to be taken at the 43. A nice block there. I can't see a number. That is number 4 for the Panthers.
Josh Bates.
Josh Bates.
He comes back and he unloads on the St. John Titan right there. Springing Kyle Andrews. But it's exactly the type of start that Whitmer wants. The defense did the job, got the ball back for the offense.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We have no score here from Whitmer Stadium. And we'll be back for second quarter action. You're watching high school football on BCSN.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. So when Karen at National City told me about the Diamond Visa card, I didn't hesitate. She said it has a great fixed rate and a percentage of everything I buy goes to breast cancer prevention. So now I can help more women say that they're survivors too.
At National City, making a difference in our customers' lives is important to us.
I'm Misha Sakula, and my bank is National City.
In Toledo, nobody covers sports like Sports Radio 1470 The Ticket. Toledo Mud Hens. BCSN. We're your radio ticket for Ohio State. ESPN. Tigers baseball. The Detroit Red Wings. In Toledo, nobody covers sports like Sports Radio 1470. Nobody. The Ticket.
You wanted some hard-hitting action? Well, you've got it so far. We head to the second quarter here at Whitmer. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you. The Whitmer Panthers and the St. John's Titans 0-0. Whitmer at the 34-yard line of St. John's, 1st and 10. And Steve, as we talked during break there, St. John's cannot afford to give Whitmer the short field all evening. Quick hit to the right, and they'll pick up about 1. They'll bring up second down and 9.
But we're in that part of the field it's messy. It's right there at about the 30-yard line. And for about 10 or 15 yards, it's very, very muddy. I had a chance to walk around out there with some water puddles that were standing there. It'd be interesting to see if Whitmer decides to use the edges, because the edges aren't in bad shape at all.
High formation. On the sweep. Speck looking for running room. He's got blockers. They spring him a little bit. He's down inside, just inside the 30-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Whitmer Panthers.
Tried to get him to that edge right there, but you see Marcus Wall will come out and just string this thing all the way down the line. Speck's waiting. He gets his kick out block right there. But you're going to see a dart coming into your screen right there.
The Panthers will put it in place. 3rd down and 6. They're at the 30-yard line of St. John's.
It's a big 3rd down.
Oh, back to pass. Slips, almost brought, then finally grabbed by one hand and brought down. Grabs the jersey is number 49 for St. John's, Ron Erderly.
Yeah, and Erderly shows how strong he is. He just reaches up with his strong hand and will not let go. He hangs on for dear life. He beats the block right there. The big fella, number 77, Jeremy Wright, just reaches up and grabs the quarterback.
There's a great attempt by Fote to get away from that on the spin move, but Erderly just grabbed him, got enough grip on it, and was able to pull him down. So we have 4th down and 11. This is the second 4th down, actually 3rd if you count the field goal attempt, and another pooch kick by J.J. Fote. Gets at the 5, and this one rolls into the end zone. So he didn't quite get the angle he wanted, and the Titans defense steps up again, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the St. John's Titans from their own 20-yard line. 10:23 to go in the first half.
Well, no guesswork involved from either team, and this is pretty much what we expected. A slugfest, a heavyweight championship style slugfest going both ways. See which team lands the big punch first.
St. John's is just short of the real soggy section of the field. Left side and to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. We'll see where they mark it. The Titans is Rusty Marvin.
It's a great article in today's paper on Marcus Watt, talking about his work ethic and how his work ethic affects the rest of the team. And you can see the mentality of the whole team. It's almost like St. John's comes into every game with their lunch pail. They're going to leave it out on the field. A well-coached group.
Wide slot to your right. Back to pass, Vollmer. He's out here, he's got his man. Houghton's going to have enough for a Titan 1st down across the 30-yard line.
That's a fine pass by Vollmer, finding Blake Houghton. That's one of his favorite targets. This play is successful because it's a combination. You send one guy long, Frankenhauser sends him long, and Houghton, he just crosses underneath, allows him to clear, and Vollmer finds him.
Steele on the tackle for the Panthers. Out of the eye. Marvin's your tailback. Wall's at full. Wall gets it straight ahead. He'll pick up 3. 2nd down, 7. We've gotten past the mud slush, and they're getting a little bit where the field is a little more manageable with your feet anyway.
And they're in a position now, St. John's is, where they can open up their offense. Only thing that it might be a little tricky for Vollmer if he goes into a deep drop, a 5 to 7 step drop. He's going to have to be real careful of how he sets his feet.
Vollmer on the long count. And that should be on Whitmer because Wall did go. Now we got another flag in the backfield. Now Wall went into motion, but he may have reset before he took off. So we'll have him straighten it out and see what we got here. We could have offset it.
I think that the Panthers are going to be called offsides.
There's offsides on Whitmer. And that'll move the ball 5 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
The offensive line for the Titans were set. What threw off the Panthers was a hard count by Vollmer. He got him to jump just as Wall was coming out of the backfield. He was going in motion, which is perfectly legal.
So it's second down and 3 from the 39-yard line. Wall's your fullback, Marvin's your tail. Marvin gets it. And he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage, maybe for a short gain by number 24 of the Panthers, Kyle Andrews. And a nice defensive play there by Kyle Andrews.
But I tell you, that's man on man right there. He shoots the gap and he comes up big, makes the stop, open field tackle.
So third down and a long one. We're in the second quarter. We have no score. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you here from Whitmer High School. I'm just going to warn you now, as this game goes on, the Titan jerseys are going to be a little more difficult to see as they're going to be covered with mud. Fullback trap, and Vollmer kept the ball. Let's see what we got. I couldn't even see who kept that one. That was Vollmer, kept it straight ahead. He's got enough for a first down.
But he was stood up at the line of scrimmage. But to show you how strong Vollmer is, you're going to see him as he comes down the line of scrimmage. He's going to get stood up. But he drives them legs, keeps him going ahead, picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 44.
Wall's your fullback, Marvin Tail. Slot formation, pro formation. There's Marvin. He's going to left side, and they'll mark it down for about a 5-yard gain, bring up second down and 5. You know, Steve, I'm going to go back to that play. They were pulling the guard, and I'm wondering if Vollmer, when he got the ball, felt it slip or read something and just decided to keep it and go straight ahead, because they did pull the right guard on that play, and he saw a little gap there and kept it. So that'll be interesting. Maybe find that out later if that really was a quarterback sneak or not.
Second and 5 at the.
So second down and 6. He bobbles a snap, but is able to give it to Marvin, and he's going to be thrown for a loss, and that'll bring up a third and long for St. John's. Vollmer, a little hard time hanging on to it there, bobbled it. It upset the rhythm.
Clay Dubendorfer made the tackle for Whitmer.
That's thrown in the vicinity of holding.
And there is the flag. Will mark it back, and they'll keep second down, but it's going to make it a second and long for the Titans of St. John's.
Second penalty for St. John's thus far.
They'll bring in a fresh ball before they mark it off. Second down and just about 16 to go. Officials timeout. They're ready to whistle it in, and we're ready to go. I formation. Slot back out to the right. Vollmer, quick drop. Throws it out here and out of the reach of Houghton, and that brings up a third down. And we've got an injured player on the field for the Whitmer Panthers. And he's grabbing the knee, and you wish the best of luck, because when Sean Ray grabbing his knee, when they start grabbing the knee.
He's definitely one of the big play guys out there on that front line. And I would love to have Mr. Ray back. He's definitely a run stuffer.
Takes a community partner to bring you BCSN, and we want to remember Banner Mattress. They've built mattresses in Toledo for 75 years. Banner Mattress delivers quality products at a price you can live with. One of the great many sponsors of BCSN as they tend to the injured Whitmer Panther.
But he's sitting up pretty fast, and that's an encouraging sign. And a lot of times it scares you a lot when things happen to your knee. A lot of times it scares you more so than it hurts you. And initially, you know, you're very nervous. And let's just hope that's the case, that Sean Ray can come back in.
So when we resume, it'll be third down and 16 for the St. John's Jesuit Titans. 6:52 to go in the first half. We're scoreless.
Early on, St. John's 2 for 5 in third downs. Converting third downs, this will be their 6th.
Frankenhauser and Howden to your right. Wall's your fullback, Marvin the tail. Fote under center. Whitmer is up tight. Draw play. And I believe Whitmer was looking for that one all the way as they had their linebackers up tight on the line. Just did a short quick drop and picked up the draw, and it'll be 4th down and 10, and the Titans will have to punt it.
Exactly. They tried to spread them out, tried to see if they were going to get man coverage, which they did get, but the safety was cheating up in the box, get that extra man in to control the running game.
So Blake Howden will be back to punt. Walls, you're up back. Kyle Andrews, the speedster, back to return it for the Panthers. And a booming punt by Howden, taken at the 11. He's got room out here for one man, and the one man makes the tackle, and they will put the ball in play 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line as Roland Urrutia on the tackle.
But did Howden get a lot of air under that kick, allowing his coverage to come down? You see right here, he's got one man to beat, but this guy is up to the task. That's just a fine open field tackle. You see for St. John's, number 3, Mike Floyd.
Trips to the right. Speck your single back set. Fote under center. St. John shows blitz, calls it off. Draw play to Speck. Looking for room on the right side. He's going to be able to pick up a couple.
To about the 27-yard line. Scott Schultz needs a tackle for St. John.
Looks like they're going to give him a mark of about 3, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for Whitmer.
You see right there, they just pull the guards, try to get out on the edge, get Speck loose.
Old counter tray there, form of it. Whitmer will start out with trips to the left. See if they shift out of this time. They stay in it. Back to pass. Fote looks to the right side. Over the outstretched arms, a little too high for his intended receiver, Chris Perry.
Tried to get Perry on the slant, which is a good idea. Tried to get him slanting in front of that safety. See right here, 5-step drop. He's got to bring that down just a little bit. Get the timing together on that. It's a little bit too high because he's got him in stride. He can definitely do some damage. Whitmer 2 for 5 thus far on 3rd downs. This is number 6.
Fote's going to keep the quarterback draw. Does a spin. Nice move, and he's going to have enough for a Whitmer Panther 1st down. Nothing fancy about that. Spread them out and take off up the middle when you see the scene.
And you see the athleticism once again of J.J. Fote as he spins away from another would-be tackler. This is a design quarterback draw, but he sees some open space, and he's trying to make a move on the safety. Mike Floyd, feet just slip out from under him. Whitmer's 3rd 1st down.
Fote back to pass. Tries out there for Perry, overthrows him a little bit, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
You see Perry slip right there trying to make that cut to the outside, that out cut. Fine coverage out there. Ross Hartwig, 5'7", 160-pound sophomore.
Whitmer trying to spread the Titan defense out a little bit, get them to back off, play a little wider, and that'll opens up some running seams for them.
And the one play that we saw them do a lot, when you spread them out, you got to watch that tight end working his way up the seam. Fote likes to throw that.
And he's got Andrews in a slot to the right now. Well, they're readjusting double slot now. They switch to. And Andrews is the guy he likes to go to. Back to pass. Time. Throws it. Trying for Andrews, and he overthrows him. That'll bring up 4th down for the Panthers. I missed it down there. It's only 3rd down. My bad. Mark one down on the bad list there. 4:44 to go in the 1st half. Another 3rd and long for Whitmer. They're about half and half and picking up first downs on the 3rd and longs.
3 for 6. You're so right. Betting 500. This is a big one here.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Photo out of the shotgun with Speck. Low snap. Gets it. Looks to his left. Back to the center. Perry, and just out of the fingertip reach of Chris Perry.
But what I like is what Whitmer offensive coaches decided to do is to come back to that slant pass. You see him look off the safety, and then come back to Chris Perry, who's slanting across just out of the outstretched hands.
He's just missing him. So the Panthers will punt it away.
Frankenhauser back deep for St. John's.
Frankenhauser deep for the Titans. Carmian punts it inside the 25. It's going to roll dead and be down just inside the 24-yard line, and St. John's will bring their offense back on the field and try to move the ball once again.
Smart play by Evan Frankhauser to get away from that. Just have nothing to do with that. Get away from it. Give your offense a chance to get back out onto the field.
4:31 to go, first half. No score. It's been a good battle between the 20s. It's not like it's been 3 and out for either team. Both are moving it. They're both just inches away from making that big play, and that could end up being the difference in this ball game.
Both defenses playing extremely well.
And here comes a flag from the line judge, and we're either going to have encroachment. Looks like Whitmer's moving back, so yes, it'll be encroachment on Whitmer. That'll make it 1st and 5 for St. John's. The ball will be moved up to the 29-yard line.
Both teams with 2 penalties apiece. Penalty yardage -10 for Whitmer, -15 for St. John's.
High formation for the Titans. Marvin, left side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and picks up about 1 after that. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Did you see the jump Eric Brown had into the backfield? He disrupted this. You're going to see Eric Brown just shoot the gap and disrupt this. Makes him cut it back before he wants to.
You know, one thing you got to love, and this is from my old defensive days, and I know how Coach Pearson and his staff coach, and I know a lot of the coaches on the Whitmer staff and the great defensive coaches they have. I love the way both these teams pursue down the line of scrimmage.
Both teams get to the football, and then the thing that you have to like is when they get there, they know how to tackle. They're sure tacklers.
Palmer puts it up and intended for Wall. Wall grabs it. It was a little high, tipped it, turned, brought it down, and that should be enough for a 1st down for the Titans at the 39-yard line.
You see right here, Marvin picks up the blitzing linebacker, stands him up. Wall is able to turn around, tip it to himself, and bring it in.
Great focus by Wall. And I've noticed the last several passes by both quarterbacks, the balls are starting to get a little heavy. You can tell just where they're putting their hands and how they're trying to grip it. Just a little bit, not too bad, but they may have to make adjustments. Well, on the fullback trap, and he's going to get about 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. 3:20 to go in the 1st half.
Kyle Ranker along the first place making the tackle for Whitmer.
With just over 3 to go, if anybody is able to draw blood here right before half, in this type of game, it's going to mean quite a bit and set a tone for the 2nd half. Not every game does that, but the way these teams have been going at each other defensively, moving the ball, but just inches away from the big play, that could come into play in the final outcome. High formation. Ballmer back to throw, looking. Throws it out here, and they're going to call it complete to number 84 for St. John's. It was hard to tell if no official gave the official sign right off the bat. Rick Shearer, excuse me, that is not Rick Shearer, that's Anthony Schultz.
Well, you see Schultz, his feet's going to come out from him. That's how bad the conditions are. Actually, he comes back for the ball and makes a fine catch. Andrews had him covered pretty well, but Vollmer put the ball only where his receiver could make a play on the ball, low and away. That's a fine, fine pass.
Vollmer will send Twins out to his left. He fakes it to Marvin, under pressure, steps up. He's got running room to the right for a little bit, dodges one and brought down after about a 2-yard gain. He had some room out to the right, but the slippery conditions not going to allow him to get out there, and a great job by the Whitmer Panther defense staying home and bringing Vollmer down.
Especially the secondary in particular. Good downfield coverage by the secondary, but the pursuit of the Whitmer Panthers getting to the football, knocking down the ball carrier.
And with 2:15 to go, St. John's is going to call timeout. They're going to make sure everybody's on the same page on what they want to do here. They will have 2nd down and 9. Little Nate Pearson down there with a big game tomorrow. As you look at the Banner fan cam, Banner Mattress, great sponsor of UCN. They got the clap sticks going here at Whitmer Stadium. We got a heck of a ball game.
The sticks are out of the rush tonight.
Boy, if I only would have invented those.
You and me both. But here's a situation, Jimmy, where St. John's is in 2nd and long. This is a very important 2nd down because it's going to dictate what you do on 3rd down. If they can pick up 2 to 3 yards, they can still conceivably run the ball on 3rd down and not be in an obvious passing situation. So I would look for St. John's to rather air it out right here on this 3rd and long.
From the right hash. 2nd and 9, Vollmer. I backfield. Rolls out to his left, corner's coming. Looks for room, he's gonna be dropped just past the line of scrimmage, and that will bring up a 3rd down and long for the Titans.
Only a 2-man route. Excellent coverage up the field. Once again, allowing the pursuit to get to the quarterback.
I like what Whitmer's doing on defense. They got their middle linebackers up tight, but then they're coming with a somewhat slight delayed blitz on the outside, disrupting the blocking flow of the Titans, and that pocket's breaking down a little bit. And also got to give credit to the defensive backs for Whitmer, because the last 2 great defensive back coverage has forced the Vollmer to keep it. Screen to the left side. His blockers out pretty far in front of him, and a great play there by Whitmer Panthers. I think that, can't see the number, but I believe that is number 14, Jason Steele.
That's exactly who it was. He comes up and makes an excellent open field tackle. This is how you teach your DBs to come up and support and knock down a would-be ball carrier. You see St. John's tries to invite the rush in because Whitmer has been very successful on the rush, but they weren't biting. Look at him pursuing to the football, and bam, down you go.
Great open field tackle by Steele. Howden punts it down. It's going to roll out of bounds at the inside the 20. It looks like it's going to be marked about the, let's see where he actually marks it here, but it looks like it's going to be about the 18-yard line. With 49 seconds to go in the half, the Whitmer Panthers will take over possession.
Well, Jimmy, I'm going to take you back to your old coaching days. You got the ball 1st and 10, 49 seconds. You take a knee and go in and talk about it and get ready for the 2nd half, or do you try to make anything happen right here?
I don't know if I'm going to take a knee, but I'm going to run a play. But I don't think it's going to be passing, because I do not want to give them the ball right down here. We got an even battle going here. We're going into halftime, make some adjustments, but I'm going to probably give it to Speck. Okay, we got nothing there, so now I'm probably going to have to run one more play. I could take a knee here, and that'll run out the half. I don't think St. John's is going to use their timeouts because they don't have enough to get the ball back here. Go in. It's been a good first half. Both teams have moved the ball a little bit. Defenses have stepped up. And as we mentioned, both teams are just inches away from busting the big play. So keep things the way they are. Go in, make your halftime adjustments.
Exactly what we expected. I mean, a championship-style clash between 2 elite City League programs.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier as the clock is going to wind down here and the first half comes to an end with the score, St. John's nothing and Whitmer nothing. We talked a little bit earlier about these teams, not just because of last year and what's at stake this year, but the rivalry of these teams goes way back. And even at the JV levels, when Coach Pearson was coaching St. John's in the JV level, there used to be some great battles between these schools. They've been leaving it out on the field in the start of the first half, and we'll see what happens in the second half. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Rick Johnson, who's got a special message for us. And you have been watching high school football on BCSN. 0-0 your score.
Ride with no worries with great tires from Tire Man Auto Centers. The Tire Man Signature Tire carries a 5-year wear-out warranty, a 30-day test drive guarantee, 24-hour roadside assistance, and free road hazard protection. There are no worries with the Tire Man Signature Tire. Stop in as we celebrate the grand opening of Tire Man's newest auto center on Holloway Road, just south of Airport Highway.
Doing it right, every car, every day.
Ever notice how much life revolves around the refrigerator? At Appliance Center, we have over 100 models on display, including side-by-sides and bottom freezers for every budget. See Ohio's largest selection at the guaranteed lowest prices, delivered free 7 days a week. Get this GE family-size refrigerator with adjustable shelves for just $227, delivered from Appliance Center.
Better than ever. Appliance Center.
At Dunn Chevy, the closeout continues. We sold a ton of 2004 Chevys last month, but still have tremendous rebates and discounts on our remaining Chevy cars and trucks. Get a new 2004 Impala for only $16,990. Drive the all-new 04 Colorado Crew Cab, now reduced to only $18,990. Our selection of remaining 2004 Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs is good, but with prices this low, they won't last long, so don't wait. Hurry to Dunn Chevy today. Remember, it's not a great deal unless it's a done deal.
Is going over on your minutes driving you crazy? Don't pay for those expensive minutes anymore. Instead, get the SureTight from Bimco. SureTight prevents you from using your cell phone during those nasty, expensive peak minutes. The SureTight is composed of a heavy-duty space-age polymer.
It's indestructible.
There's a smarter way to prevent outrageous cell phone bills. Get Cricket Unlimited with unlimited local and U.S. long distance anytime minutes.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm with Rick Johnson of the Student News Net /BCSN. We're here to talk a little about a new marketing agreement between Student News Net and BCSN. And Rick, tell us a little bit about what Student News Net and BCSN are trying to do as far as education and sports.
Okay, Jim, what the Student News Network is all about is we produce online educational news and we sell it to school systems across the country. And we're here tonight for the St. John's Whitmer game because the Washington local school system is one of our subscribers, and what we're trying to accomplish is promoting education through sports, and that's the whole idea behind our relationship with the BCSN. And what we're here to do tonight is we're going to take a look at game statistics. We've created a site called Sports and Science. We're going to roll it out to Washington local on Tuesday, and what that's really going to incorporate is mathematical questions, worksheets, activities that will be centered really and geared towards grades K to 6. As an example, we might have a worksheet that might take a look at the dimensions of the football field, teach kids how to add and subtract between the tens or how to add by 10, figure out ratios on first down conversions, what have you. Just kind of make learning interesting through sports.
And you also have some science applications you're going to put in, and these all meet the standards for science and math for what education requires.
It's all, everything is in accordance to the guidelines for the state of Ohio. The first segment we'll roll out is specifically for math, and then we'll slowly expand out and start rolling some science activities in there as well. But I can tell you one thing, the teachers in Washington local are very excited about this, and hopefully it'll make their job easier.
And one more thing, they can find this where? They go to bcsn.tv, and where do they find it on the website from there?
Well, it's on studentnewsnet.com, and all the teachers and all the educators at Washington local already know what that is.
So they can get there and they know where to find all this information.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Rick. We thank you for taking time out and talking with us. And when we come back, we will pick up some more halftime activities. You're watching high school football on BCSN.
Spend more time enjoying life and less time doing laundry with a new washer and dryer from Appliance Center. Not just 1 or 2 models, Appliance Center has the area's largest selection at the guaranteed lowest prices. We even deliver fast and free 7 days a week. Get this GE Super Capacity washer with adjustable water levels for just $287 from Appliance Center delivered.
Appliance Center.
Halloween is fast approaching, and the wonderfully ghoulish people at Buckeye Cable System and Terror Town want you to have something nice to put under your tree. Adventure in music is awaiting the lucky winner of this serious satellite radio system. Don't run home to mommy. Run straight to the Lucas County Scaregrounds in Maumee and register to win this high-tech wonder. While you're there, we dare you to survive the all-newly designed Rooms of Fear at Terror Town. Open Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 7 p.m. through Halloween.
BCSN, your eye on local sports, is also your local home for the Toledo Mud Hens Baseball Network.
Make a new choice for Chief Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court on November 2nd. Make your choice Judge C. Ellen Connolly. Judge Connolly is committed to impartial consideration of the facts and fair application of the law. Elect Judge C. Ellen Connolly for Chief Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court. Elect Judge Nancy First to the Supreme Court of Ohio. Judge First brings fairness, experience, and justice to Ohio's citizens. First for fairness, first for experience, first for justice. Vote first, Nancy First, on November 2nd.
Being a mom can be exhausting. You love your kids, but you need time for yourself. You need Lifestyles for Ladies Only.
Bring your kids to Lifestyles and they'll enjoy a supervised kids club while you lose weight, get in shape, and relieve stress.
Lifestyles is proud of our child care staff. Kids Club features stimulating children's activities in a safe environment. Go online and see our aerobic and exercise class schedules. Nobody offers more or does it better.
Now even busy moms can be healthy moms at Lifestyles. Come on, you can do it.
We're halfway through this crosstown collision between the Whitmer Panthers and the St. John's Titans. 0-0 your score. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you. We're going to take a few moments and we'll go down and listen to the Whitmer Panther Marching Band. watching the Whitmer High School Marching Band. 0-0 is our score at halftime. St. John's Whitmer, you're watching high school football on BCSN.
In Toledo, nobody covers sports like Sports Radio 1470, The Ticket. Toledo Mud Hens, BCSN. We're your radio ticket for Ohio State. ESPN. Tigers baseball, the Detroit Red Wings. In Toledo, nobody covers sports like Sports Radio 1470. Nobody. The Ticket.
My son's going to my alma mater. But, well, the tuition. Steve at National City suggested a home equity loan. By deducting my payments from my checking account, he showed me how I can get a lower interest rate. So now my son's up at college doing all the same things I used to do.
At National City, we want to make banking simple for lives that aren't.
My name's James Moore, and my bank is National City.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. So when Karen at National City told me about the Diamond Visa card, I didn't hesitate. She said it has a great fixed rate and a percentage of everything I buy goes to breast cancer prevention. So now I can help more women say that they're survivors too.
At National City, making a difference in our customers' lives is important to us.
I'm Misha Sakula, and my bank is National City.
I'm pretty persistent when it comes to the maintenance of my car. That's why I take my car to Tireman Auto Service Center. From a simple oil change to a complicated brake job, they're my car place.
Tireman doesn't just service my car, they provide me with customer service that's unmatched. They even perform free safety inspections when I come in, and most important, I trust them. They let me know what my car needs. No more, no less.
Experience the service advantage of Tireman Auto Centers.
Doing it right, every car, every day.
The teams have re-entered the field as they loosen up as we get ready for second half action here from Whitmer High School. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you. We end the half 0-0. Although it's 0-0, it's not like there hasn't been movement, Steve. And as you're going to take a look at the first half stats, Whitmer got a block punt, missed the field goal. Wasn't really close. It was a pretty long field goal, but other than that, they're going between the 20s, but no one getting on the board.
Neither team, you see right there, total yards, 88 for St. John's, 69 for Whitmer. You take away a couple of big plays by Whitmer, and their offense really hasn't been too efficient. St. John's has 7 first downs and 3 for Whitmer. The rushing yardage, 43 for St. John's, 49 for Whitmer. The one big play by Speck. But here's the big thing, Jimmy, no turnovers. Both teams are taking care of the football.
And the other thing is, Coach Pearson and his staff has to be happy with their defensive play because they've given the ball to Whitmer 3 times inside their own 50, and they've come up with the big defensive stands, keeping them out of the end zone and off the scoreboard.
You're exactly right. They had what could amount to a turnover on the block punt, but their defense was stellar, was able to repel the drive by Whitmer. But it's going to be interesting to see which team opts to open it up because somebody's going to have to take a chance up the field. You see St. John's drawing a lot of man coverage. You see linebackers for Whitmer shooting the gap. You might try a double move if you can get them blocked up front, maybe get somebody freed up down the field. For Whitmer, you got to get the ball into your playmaker's hands, and you know Kyle Andrews is a playmaker. He's got good height, he's 6'3", he's got good speed, and he can get up the ladder and catch the football. So you got to get the ball in your playmaker's hands.
In the start of the second half, I'm not going to expect to see much different than we saw in the first half, but there is going to be a point in this, I would say, third quarter, early fourth quarter, as you take a look at that moon fading away, is someone is going to pull something, and that could be the deciding factor in this ball game.
You're absolutely right. Games that are closely fought are won and lost more times than not right here in the third quarter. Which team makes the better adjustments at halftime?
And we are just about ready to get action on its way here in the second half between St. John's and Whitmer. St. John's will receive the kick here in the second half. And you know that St. John's is receiving, that means Whitmer's kicking off, Steve. I just thought I'd clarify that for you.
That's a very good assessment, my good friend.
I've been practicing. Back deep for the Titans. They will put a couple guys back there to start things off. DeAndre Ware, number 27. He will be deep on the left side of the field. Carmian will be doing the punting for Whitmer.
I'll tell you, Whitmer has done a pretty good job of slowing down the running back for St. John's, who's Marcus Wall.
The one hop, he drops it at the 15. There's a lot of blue jerseys in front of him, and they wrestle him to the ground just across the 20 at the 22, right in the nice soft mud pile. So the Titans will put it in play, 1st and 10 here to start the second half. We have no score.
Wow, 9 carries, 44 yards in that first half. Also, the quarterback, Vollmer, 6 out of 9 for 45 yards, no INTs. Ball control passing, short passing game. I expect nothing different here in the second half.
Pro set, I formation. Counter Trey, Marvin, he's got running room and a great tackle and possibly saving a humongous gain for St. John's is number 58, Kyle Ranker.
They got that block well up front, Jimmy. First man through was Marcus Waugh. You see him coming through, leading this block, picks him up, boom, nice kick out block there by number 65 for St. John's. But look at him, he's following this blocking to a T.
So it's a first down for St. John's, the ball up to the 33-yard line.
Matt Reiner was the kick-out blocker, number 65 for St. John's.
Counter Trey to the left, and Marvin slips and falls. He'll lose 2 on the play. In the slippery part of the field there, can't keep his feet, and down he goes. Brings up second down and a long 11. You know, the intensity level is just as high now as it was at the beginning of this game. These teams are focused. They haven't lost anything. They both know there's a job to be done, and nobody has got a clear-cut advantage by any means right now. Early in the second half, Vollmer out to Marvin, left side. He's trying to get around the end, and a jersey-saving tackle there. We've seen a couple of those tonight. They're able to hang on to the jerseys and save big gains.
Once again, Andrews coming up, making big plays. Big players make big plays on big days, and you see this guy coming up big once again.
Bring up third down and a long 11. And the footing for Vollmer, if he goes back to pass, is not going to be very good here. Don't be surprised if you see a fullback trap from the Titans. Nope, Vollmer's going to roll out to his left. Looks back, throws it across the middle, and a great defensive play. They're going to call pass interference. And I guess I talked too soon. Josh Bates reached over the top. He may have had his other hand on him.
He got there just a little bit early. He made a nice break on the football, but he comes through with a little bit too much body when he stuck that left hand in there. What I like what St. John's did, Jimmy, is they rolled the pocket to where the field was pretty steady at. It got him outside of the mud where the quarterback Vollmer could take and set his feet and make a nice, strong throw.
Take a look at this one again.
See him move in the pocket, get him outside to where he could set his feet, makes a nice, strong throw.
Just went a little past it. So they'll mark it off 1st and 10. The play will stand as called. And it'll be 1st and 10 St. John's from the 46-yard line. And that really is the first major penalty of the ball game that is having any kind of effect, because that gets St. John's into part of the field that's a little drier, gets them up near midfield on their opening drive of the second half. 10 minutes ago, we're tied at 0. Marvin on a spin trap, and he is dropped.
Well, was he ever met when he got the ball? Right there waiting for him was Eric Brown. And this guy is just tough to block. You see him coming around that edge. And whack, right there.
Whitmer continues to stack the box inside between the tight ends. Not quite the tackles, but the tight ends. Their linebackers are up tight, forcing St. John's to spread it out or go a little bit outside. And they're saying, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're not going to beat us just pounding it on us.
You're going to have to get something up the field to try to loosen up. You got to keep those backers honest. If you can get them to thinking and just hesitating just for a moment. But these backers are very active in the gaps.
On the quarterback keeper is Whitmer. He's going to get it back to the original line of scrimmage. This could have been a broken play.
It looked like a mix-up in the backfield there. Like the only two people that knew Whitmer had the ball was he in the center. And you see him just trying to get out of dodge.
It's a good read by Whitmer to at least get that many yards. He looked, something wasn't right. He tucked it and saw a little gap and picked up a few. So it'll be 3rd down, another long for St. John's. 3rd down and just outside the 10-yard marker.
St. John's 3 for 8 converting 3rd downs. This is number 9 for him.
Whitmer rolling out to his right, under pressure, lofts it up for grabs, and it is incomplete.
That's just a fine play by Clay Dubendorfer, forcing the quarterback to get rid of the football. But did you see the break on the ball Chris Perry got? I mean, he didn't waste any time. You're going to see St. John's try to move the pocket, get away from that rush. Dubendorfer makes him, gets rid of him, but look at the break. Number 10 gets on that football. Chris Perry.
So the Whitmer Panthers defense stands up. Andrews will be back to receive the punt. For St. John's, Howden will be the punter. Slow snap. They weren't coming after it. He gets the punt off. Andrews touches it and falls on it. That could have been disastrous. So the Panthers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. 8:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. We remain scoreless.
Well, the punting game has been very adventurous for both teams here. St. John's trying to actually just field a snap. And right here by Andrews, but you see presence of mind to dive back on the football.
So here come the Panthers for their first possession of the second half. Folt will lead the offense. He's got Andrews now, who's going to switch over here to the left side. Speck is his tailback. On the reverse pass. Now Andrews tucks it and runs. And that came a little earlier than I thought, but the ground is a little drier down there. As Andrews picks up about a half yard, it'll bring 2nd down and a long 9.
Tried to spread them out, get them thinking trick play, but they had this double coverage. The backfield for St. John's had that covered in the back very nicely. Double coverage.
Whitmer will send trips out to the left. Folt out of the shotgun. And we're going to have the right guard move a little quick there, as he was going to pull and go to the left, and he jumped a little quick, and that'll move him back. It'll bring up 2nd down and 14. Up to the line. Folt will get up under center.
4th Whitmer penalty on the evening.
Folt on the option, keeps it, and he is smacked and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and long.
These are the type of situations that Whitmer wants to stay out of, 3rd and long. Because they're very predictable in their 3rd and longs. When you have 3rd, rather 4 or 5, you can do a lot of things offensively. Right here at 3rd and long, you're going to be very predictable.
They'll send trips to the bottom of your screen. Single back. Quick drop. Fade pattern, right side. He's got Andrews. Great grab by Andrews. And he is going to be brought down. He fumbles the ball, and St. John's recovers. After a great catch and run by Andrews, he fumbled the ball on the tackle, recovered by St. John's, and the officials are going to talk it over, and they may be talking to see if the ground caused this fumble, if he was down before he fumbled it.
This is a great piece of officiating. Get them together and talk about it, and it's indeed going to be 1st down St. John's.
And we're going to take a look at that one again. And we won't tell everybody in front of us if we see something different.
But you see right here, manned up on the outside. This is what we've been looking for. See, get the ball to the big playmaker on the outside. You see, but you got to put that football away.
And
he rips it out.
And he did fumble it before he came down.
That's just a fine defensive play by the defensive back to come through and rip the ball out.
So it's 1st and 10 St. John's after the turnover from their own 35-yard line out of the I formation. Wall up the middle. Excuse me, he did not. They kept it on the outside. We got a flag comes in there.
That's in the vicinity of Holt. That's a fine play fake.
That was. Wall did a great job. I'm sitting there watching going, man, he's got running room.
Now Andrews made the tackle.
It's going to be a face mask.
So things are starting to get a little tense here.
And the first turnover of the game goes to St. John's. And we've talked about this earlier on. The team that takes care of the ball the best will probably win it.
So it's a 5-yard penalty, brings up 2nd and 1. So Whitmer's going to want to have, they can bend a little bit here. They don't want to break because they don't want to get this momentum steamrolling against them. Split backfield, Wah, fullback trap. Enough for the 1st down. And kudos to the camera crew and the guys in the truck on that. And Wah is hurt on a fumble there by Andrews. That kind of quieted some people down around here once they saw it was a fumble. And Wah is going to limp off the field. That can hurt St. John's, obviously. For All-State running back. Officials wipe the ball, set it down, move the chain. 6:07 to go. We're at 0-0. Whitmer High School. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you. St. John's will be in the I formation, wide slot to the right. Whitmer back to pass, under pressure, and he is kerplunked. A huge loss.
Oh, that's just a big defensive call by Whitmer, sending the zone dog. A couple of linebackers coming from the right side. The left side, excuse me. You see Dubendorfer coming, but you see 14 shooting the gap. Jason Steele, and they play beat me at the quarterback.
A great defensive call there by the Whitmer Panthers. Double outside blitz, and as Whitmer turned to look up, he saw nothing but blue in his face.
He had a lot of company back there with him.
Twins to the right. 2nd and 21. Marvin slashes to the left. He's going to pick up about 3. That brings up a 3rd down and a very, very long for the Titans.
3 for 9 so far. This will be number 10 for St. John's. But you see, you got to do something to loosen those linebackers up. They've got 8 in the box right there with safety help over the top. So, and he can come up and help out on support that run. So in essence, you got 9 guys you're trying to get blocked up front. And if you don't break something in some type of misdirection way, it's going to be tough sledding against that type of front.
They'll send 4 receivers out to the right. Vollmer will be in a shotgun. No backs. Here's a screen out here, looking for the double pass. There it is, wide open. No, and it's intercepted. Great recovery as the ball was slowly underthrown, and we've got a flag on the play, and we've got an injured player.
That
so we've
flag
got all sorts of things we're going to have to sort out here.
That flag is going to be holding. He had to hold number 10 for Chris Perry, who had broken in. He had read that double pass. He was coming in to rush the receiver. But a fine play on the ball by Josh Bates. He's made a couple of fine plays out there in the defensive secondary for the Whitmer Panthers here tonight.
Because Jay Wheeler had him beat, and the ball was underthrown a little bit, and it looked like he was going to get to Jay.
Well, you're going to see right here, he has to hold him because Perry reads this, and you're going to see the hole right there.
Great call by the officials. When the ball took off, it looked like he had Wheeler in stride, and he had it underthrown a little bit, and Bates steps underneath it and picks it off. So no turnovers in the first half, and here in the third quarter we've had 2, and it's changed the momentum, and Whitmer coming up with the pickoff there. They will put the ball in play 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
Another big defensive play for Whitmer.
As Howden on the throw I think he got a helmet in the shin or a shoulder pad or something right in the shin, and that was what he was holding. Man, those hurt. He's able to jog off the field under his own power. And so here's a break the Panthers have now been looking for and see if they can do something with it. 4:22 to go in the third quarter.
Well, that was huge for the defense to get the ball back for the offense, not to allow St. John's to go up the field and get any kind of points whatsoever.
Whitmer will shift in the trips to the right. Expect your single back. Andrews down left. He's got one-on-one down to the left, bottom of your screen. He's trying to look for him. There he goes. The fade. They battle it, and they're going to call pass interference on Jay Wheeler.
And he had him locked up just a little bit too tough right there. Wheeler did.
Well, they're going to call him, I think, that he didn't turn and even look for the ball at all.
He didn't. He was just face guarding all the way up the field. He got a good jam initially, but Andrews got off of the jam and was working his way up the sideline.
Had Jay, I think they both banged each other before he didn't turn and look. This was either a no call.
And you see right there, locked up. Great camera work, guys.
Great camera work. Grabbed his jersey, never turned to look for the ball. He might have got away with it had he turned, but a great call by the officials and great job on the camera. You know, if you're gonna grab the jersey, you got to at least fake him out and turn and look towards the ball.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you're gonna hold, you better hold
That's
him.
right.
And that's exactly what he did.
And hey, you take the penalty because if he gets beat, Andrews is gone.
6 points. But I like the adjustment that the Whitmer staff is making. Exactly what we talked about at halftime. Trying to take some shots up the field with your playmaker because Kyle Andrews will go up and make a play on the football.
Out of the shotgun, Fote. 1st and 10 from the 41. He gets to Speck left side, and he's going to be dragged down right about the line of scrimmage on a great play there. Shoestring tackle by St. John's, number 44, and that is Tom Schoen, one of many Schoens that have walked the hallways out there on Airport Highway.
Well, I like what Schoen did. Schoen wrapped him up around the waist first before he reached for the leg. That's just a fine football tackle.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. Just when we thought the intensity was big in the beginning of this game and the start of the second half, we got 3:41 to go, and it's starting to rise a little more. Fote on the option. Pitches it to Speck. Titans close it down, and he's going to lose about 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long. We've been saying that a lot tonight.
We sure have stellar defense for St. John's, but it's tough to run on a 9-man front. That's exactly what Fote is looking at, a 9-man front. You've got them manned up on the outside. You got to take your chances up the field. Got to loosen them up. a little bit more before you can start running those stretch plays.
So 3rd and 12 for the Panthers from their own 39-yard line.
3rd and 11.
I formation. Tight ends to the right. Speck right side. And it's interesting, a little cat and mouse game going on here between these two coaches. 3rd and long, teams are running it. 2nd and long, they're throwing. They're doing things they normally don't do here in the 3rd quarter.
You can't be predictable. You got to do something different.
Well, the big sack that Whitmer had on St. John's in their last drive, it was a play that St. John's normally wouldn't throw on. 3rd and long, Whitmer runs tailback off the right tackle. It's getting interesting.
And St. John's does a fine job, the defense, of getting the ball back for their offense, not allowing Whitmer to capitalize on the turnover that they got.
Kind of a short punt, takes a Panther roll. I got to compliment the snapper because in this weather, when you're getting the ball back that quick, that's on that great of a spiral. That's a key part of this ball game right now with the wet balls.
You're absolutely right. Right now, what both teams are doing is they're playing the field position game. Okay, right now, any kind of first down is going to change the field position. I like Coach Dan Folt's thinking right here. Try to kick him back deep. Didn't get the kind of punt that he would have liked, but he didn't get a return.
From the 30-yard line, St. John sends the wide slot to the left. Wall back in the game at fullback. They're shaking up his knee the last series. Marvin, right side, cuts one. He's got a little running room across the 35 up to the 37-yard line.
Those are tough yards, and well, this is starting to become some slugfest down in the trenches. Both teams, I mean, they're hitting hard, both teams.
I didn't think they could hit much harder than they started this ball game up, but it's going on. And blow here for the Whitmer Panthers as Chris Perry is down and in some obvious pain here. 1:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you here from Whitmer High School. We are tied 0-0. Don't forget to visit www.bcsn.tv where you'll find highlights, scores, schedules, and links to your favorite teams. If it has to do with local sports, you'll find it at bcsn.tv.
Well, I just saw another starter for Whitmer limp off, Kyle Ranker. They definitely need him. He's been making a lot of plays from his linebacker spot.
We'll have a little break in action as Perry gets up, and he's going to have to be helped off the field. I believe that was the old where the body went one way and the legs didn't cooperate and come along with you, and the knee got twisted a little bit. They'll take a look at him on the sidelines.
Don't like to see that leg dangle like that. Hope that young man can get back in this contest.
St. John's will come out in a wing formation. Your wingman's to the left, high backfield. They're going to run to that side. Marvin looking for room, stood up, and he's going to get maybe a yard.
And it'll be a tough yard too. Stellar defense.
So formation, first time we saw the wing formation out of the Titans tonight. They're going to try to outman the Panthers as they stack the inside.
You're going to see Brad Razor come across and just stand the runner right up. Just a fine hit. That's Kyle Andrews. Excuse me. I mean, this guy's getting it done on both sides of the football.
Titans come out again. Wing formation to your left. Wall your fullback. Marvin your tail. 3rd and 3. Wall's got running room right up the middle. He's across the 50, inside the 40. He's off to the races. He heads for the corner of the end zone. 5. Touchdown, St. John's.
Well, you see that 4.5 speed, and I don't think anything's wrong with that knee right now. But some run right there. When he found daylight, did he explode through the gap? You see, straight ahead, look at a great kick. He kicks back, number 58,
Great high step move by Waugh on that one.
Number 58, Jim Caney for St. John's, blocks down, seals that off. Then the first man through is Waugh. And boy, does he get through. Turns on that 4-5 speed.
So St. John's with 55 seconds to go in the third quarter has struck first. The extra point try. Hold is down, kick is up, straight through, and Howden makes it 7-0. So with 55 seconds to go, it is St. John's Jesuit Titans 7, the Whitmer Panthers nothing. And we said that all game, both teams inches away from that big play. And on that play, St. John's comes out again in the wing formation to the left. And instead of going towards that wing formation, they came back with Waugh on a quick hit right off the guard on the right side, and it parted like the Red Sea because Whitmer kind of favored that wing formation.
Well, you got to tip your hat to the St. John's defense for not folding after turning the football over. They get the ball back for the offense. The offense goes 3 plays, 66 yards, only 2 minutes and 10 seconds, capped off by a 62-yard touchdown run by Marcus Waugh.
Yeah, we'll see how all this pans out. A lot of time left in this ball game. It was just a matter between one team or the other getting that big play.
Something tells me there's a lot of football left to be played here tonight.
You know, first score, but it was. I'm glad to see that neither team scored off the turnovers because the way these guys have been going at it and playing so well, you didn't want to see that happen. You want to see them battle it out in the trenches and go as it did. So I'm glad nobody has scored off the turnovers so far. But like you said, a lot of time to play. We'll see what happens. Howden pooches it, and it's going to be taken at the 35. And almost getting to the outside for the Whitmer Panthers is Cliff Morley, and the Panthers will have decent field position, 1st and 10 from their own 35, and they gotta like that.
Well, if you're Whitmer, you got to get your playmakers more involved. Kyle Morley has been extremely quiet tonight. He's definitely one of their playmakers. But if you're looking for a big play, number 24 is your guy.
Whitmer sends trips down to the bottom of your screen. Fote under center. He has no backs behind him. He's given a read. Looks like he may have checked off here, reading the defense. Quarterback draw. And he's got running room. He's got a first down and a little more up to the 48-yard line. And a great run by J.J. Fote. And I look for J.J. in this situation now. We're wrapping down the end of the third quarter. Watch for him to try to start take over this ball game.
Well, you see him read his blocks. Took a couple of steps back to look like he was going to indeed pass to try to get some movement. But you see him reading his blocks well, not trying to explode through that hole, fighting his way through the gaps, following his blocking extremely well. And when he gets out to the pack, he knows what to do with the football.
Twins right, trips to the left. Fote, quick step drop, quick screen to Andrews. And he's going to pick up about 7. Morley comes up limping a little bit for the Panthers.
And you can sense the urgency of the Whitmer offense starting to pick it up a little bit, trying to get a little bit more continuity to what they're doing offensively. Spread the ball around, getting the ball to your 2 playmakers, number 3 and number 24, J.J. Fote and Kyle Andrews.
And that ends the third quarter with the score. St. John's Jesuit Titans 7, the Whitmer Panthers nothing. You're watching high school football on BCSN.
Being a mom can be exhausting. You love your kids, but you need time for yourself. You need Lifestyles for Ladies Only.
Bring your kids to Lifestyles and they'll enjoy a supervised kids club while you lose weight, get in shape, and relieve stress.
Lifestyles is proud of our child care staff. Kids Club features stimulating children's activities in a safe environment. Go online and see our aerobic and exercise class schedules. Nobody offers more, does it better.
Now even busy moms can be healthy moms at Lifestyles. Come on, you can do it.
Halloween is fast approaching, and the wonderfully ghoulish people at Buckeye Cable System and Terrortown want you to have something nice to put under your tree. Adventure in Music is awaiting the lucky winner of this Sirius satellite radio system. Don't run home to Mommy. Run straight to the Lucas County Scaregrounds in Maumee and register to win this high-tech wonder. While you're there, we dare you to survive the all-newly designed Rooms of Fear at Terrortown. Open Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 7 p.m. through Halloween.
As a few days before Halloween and nearly full moon shining above Whitmer Stadium, Pope going deep on the first play of the fourth quarter, and he overthrows his intended receiver Morley, and that'll bring up a third down for the Whitmer Panthers. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you here from Whitmer High School. We've had a great one so far. It's 7-0 St. John's on a long scamper by Marcus Wall, the only score of the evening, and these two teams continue to battle it out. Whitmer Panthers 3rd and 3 on the move.
But you got to like that call on second down, try to get something up the field, setting up a 3rd and short.
Polk keeps it after on the option, and he's going to have close to a first down. Came out with the fake to the fullback, tucked it, and fouled the fullback through. They take a look over to the sticks, and they're going to bring them out and measure. You know, 2 years in a row of these type of ball games will drive any coach to the barber to get his hair replaced. But I'm telling you what, this isn't going to end, because both these schools have excellent underclassmen coming up. I was able to see their freshmen play. Both teams last year, they both had excellent freshman teams. As it's a first down for the Whitmer Panthers.
Did you hear the jubilation from the Panther faithful?
The Whitmer Panthers won the Freshman City Championship this year. So there's some good football between these two schools for years to come.
They beat a fine Rogers freshman team who was undefeated before they played them. They had to play them 2 weeks in a row and was able to defeat them 2 weeks in a row.
Early in the fourth quarter. Vogt back to throw, looking, throws it deep to Andrews, and a great catch by Andrews. First down, Whitmer inside the Titan 20-yard line, and we've been looking for that combination all night. We had it once, and we got it again for another big gainer.
Well, you see, you get the play fake right there, and when they need a play, they're going to go down the field and look for their playmaker. But look at him, stopping, soft hands going up, catching the ball at its highest point, bringing it down. Kyle Andrews once again coming through for the Whitmer Panthers.
1st and 10 Whitmer from the 17-yard line.
And this is a fine drive in answer to the St. John's drive.
Andrews and Morley to your right. Vogt back to pass. Looks in the middle, nothing. He's pushed out. Now he throws it, it's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. I think Whitmer is finally getting the matchup, and I'm gonna also say the field's drying out a little bit. Enough where they're getting their footing a little better, but they're getting that matchup that they've wanted with Andrews, and they're starting to look for him.
Well, they're manning up with Andrews on the outside. That time they doubled him. They definitely had 2 men on him that time, brought the safety over to help. But that was smart for JJ to go out, and he was looking for Kyle Morley, who had single coverage over there.
2nd down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Whitmer trying to answer the St. John's score. Slot back to the right. Spector single back, Vogt back to throw, being blitzed and brought down for a loss by number 52 for St. John's, and we've called his name a couple times tonight, J.W. Terry, again on a tackle for a loss.
Well, they bring J-Dub just straight up the middle, and you got to get that block right up the gut. And that's where you want to get pressure at, is in a quarterback's face. Once you can make a quarterback bring his head down, take his eyes off him surveying the field, you've got half the battle won. That's just a fine defensive call by the Titans.
3rd and 15 from the 22. Keep an eye on Andrews and Morley as they go to, well, now Andrews, and we got some confusion here, and Whitmer's going to call timeout. So with 10:34 to go in the fourth quarter, with the score St. John's 7, Whitmer nothing. Whitmer on the move, and a 3rd and 15 coming up. Coach Fote wants to talk things over. Big play for the Panthers.
This is huge because you may want to think in the essence of 2 plays right here, because 3rd and 15 is going to be tough. If you can get half of it, you can come back on 4th down and try for the other half, because it makes for a pretty long field goal attempt.
And this crowd is into it. You take a look at the Banner Mattress fan cam. They are definitely into this ball game because we've got a classic going here.
Whitmer faithful has not gone away at all, and they're still very loud and very boisterous with those thunder sticks.
Well, so far it's been everything we thought it would be.
Oh, we haven't been disappointed. Good timeout by Whitmer. Get things settled down. Make sure you got the play call that you want.
Matchup, Wheeler out here on Andrews. Twins to the top of your screen. They're trying to get him one-on-one. He's going to come on the reverse. He's looking for the pass. He's got a man wide open. Beautiful throw, and it's complete. And a flag, a late hit. That's going to move it closer. First and goal, Whitmer.
Oh, that's just a fine play right there. What St. John's did is they tightened up the coverage on Andrews. But what Whitmer does is they move him into space, and they get the defense going one way. Tell you, it's a long developing play. You got to get it blocked down the field. Indeed, they do. And Andrews is able to find this guy. As you see the referee make the unsportsmanlike conduct late hit.
Well, we kind of mentioned by the end of the 3rd quarter, beginning of the 4th, somebody's going to reach into the bag of, I don't want to say tricks because they've run these plays before, but the bag of something different, and they did. Andrews, a beautiful toss.
Hung it up there nicely for Jimmy Johnson to come down with. Jimmy Johnson playing with that banged up finger, but he's got 9 fingers, but he's made them all work there.
First and goal for the Panthers from the, I'm not going to quite give it a yard there, Steve. They are very close, and they will come out in a double slot formation. Spector single back. And he may just run it right up the middle on this one. He's got a little gap to his right. Looks over to defense. Gives it to Speck, in, touchdown, Panthers.
That's just attitude right there, wanting more. Big fellas up front getting it done. And we haven't mentioned that young offensive line for Whitmer. 4 sophomores and a junior. They're definitely getting it done there. Look at the seal right there on Wise. He tried to come in and fill the gap. That's just fine blocking.
And an excellent drive by the Whitmer Panthers to answer the St. John's touchdown. And with 10:23 to go, it's 7-6. Carmian will try the extra point. Folk will hold. They fake it. Folk trying to run. He's got the option to Carmian. 2 points, and the Panthers take the lead.
Well, you called it, Jimmy. You said expect the unexpected, and indeed that's what we've gotten here in this second half. We said there's a lot of football left to be played, and with 10:23, we're not done. It's only just begun, folks.
And if you're just joining us, where the heck you been? Because you're missing a classic. This is one of the, all week long, you practice against that offset extra point. Folk did a great job of, like he was talking to his kicker, and went down at the last second and took off with it. Watch this again.
But what I like is how he holds on to the ball to the very last moment to pitch it. He let 2 defenders commit to him, and then he pitches it out to the wide side of the field. Let his kicker utilize his athleticism and his speed to get to that edge and get it in for the 2-point conversion. Talk about answering a punch with a punch. A 10-play, 65-yard drive that took up 3 minutes and 30 seconds, ended with a 1-yard plunge by Speck.
Well, We'll take a look at the extra point again. See, Folt stands up like he's going to talk and just takes the snap as he's standing up. That caught the St. John's guy thinking he's standing up talking. He's not ready for the snap or they're going to move over. Short kick, just like we saw St. John's. And out to the 35-yard line. They will start in the same position Whitmer just started in as Maletti picks it up and takes it up there. And it's 1st and 10. Excuse me, that was not Maletti. That was number 6 for St. John's, Ross Hartwig.
And this is what got St. John's into trouble, was the short kick, giving Whitmer pretty good field position. Same thing St. John's had.
I'm just so impressed how both these teams, of course it comes from their coaches too, composure. No matter what has happened so far in this game, and just as last year in their 2 meetings, both teams have kept their composure, kept focused on what they need to do, and St. John's in the wing right. Right at the middle wall, fumble, it's on the ground. They're scrambling for it. It's like a big rugby scrum. And Whitmer Panthers have recovered.
That ball looked like it was punched out of there, Jimmy. Looked like it was punched out of there. I mean, they're playing the run exclusively right now. They're not going to get beat on one of those quick hitters again. And you see the quick hitter up the middle to Wah. And you see Clay Dubendorfer come through.
As Kyle Andrews recovered the fumble.
It looks like Dubendorfer just punches it out of there. You see the ball is in the air for anyone to claim. And your big play guy for Whitmer.
And the fullback trap up the middle, just pick up about 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. The momentum begins to swing, but there's still 9:52 to go in the ball game, 8-7. The Panthers with the lead and the ball at the 42-yard line of St. John's.
There's a lot of football left to be played. Don't go anywhere.
Wide slot to your left. Expect your tailback. They give it to the fullback on the option keep. And there's no reason to get fancy here. You've got the lead. You're in the territory of your opponent. Grind it out. 3rd down and 5. As Chris Laser comes limping off the field.
What amounts to a 3rd down. It looks like a short 5, a long 4, however you want to call it. This will be the 11th 3rd down. They're batting 500. They're 5 for 10 in 3rd downs.
Ryan Waterfield in at fullback for the Panthers. They give it to him. No, Folk pulls it. Pitches to Speck. Tries to get outside, and another great pursuit by Waugh and Hartwig for St. John's. And again, both teams on the outside are pursuing just perfectly here.
Well, boy, Ross Hartwig came up and supported that run extremely nice. Cut down the runner short of the 1st down.
So it brings up a 4th and 4 for the Panthers. Definitely too far for a field goal. We could see a pooch kick here, put the Titans deep in their territory. They may try to draw them off sides. Andrews up top of your screen. Here comes the reverse to Andrews. He's got a blocker. And oh, a great defensive play by number 20. Can't see that. Is that 29 there? Yeah, Paul Jacoby on the tackle.
Well, Jacoby comes up, but Hartwig, he forces it inside. He kept his contained, did his job well. You see, he can't get to the outside. He's got to cut it up, and Jacoby cuts it down nicely.
Paul Jacoby, son of a former St. John's player, Paul Jacoby Sr.
Another great job by the Titan defense after another turnover, allowing 0 points.
And a great timeout here by Whitmer. They got a lot of guys, some guys going 2 ways. They've been out there for a little bit. The offense has been out there, but they went out there. They want to make sure they're composed. What St. John's might be doing in this case. St. John's probably going to look. You got 8:03 to go. You only need to get in field goal range. They got a good field goal kicker. So Coach Fote want to make sure his defense is ready for this very important drive here as the Titans will have 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
This will probably be the last time that St. John's can utilize running the football. They can utilize the entire playbook without having to operate in a hurried fashion. They can take their time and amount to what could be a game-winning drive right here.
Well, the folks are getting their money's worth tonight, just what we expected. Not disappointed, no matter what the outcome of this one ends up being. Wing formation to the right with the split backfield. They'll try Waugh to the right side. He's going to grind his way for about 3 or 4.
I like what Coach Pearson has done. Waugh fumbled on his last attempt, but he comes right back and give the ball to his big fella saying, look, I got faith in you. You brought us this far. I'm going to give it to you again.
2nd down and 6. Clock running, 7:33 to go in the 4th quarter. Waugh's your fullback. Marvin's at tail. Wheeler in motion to the right. Palmer back to pass. Across the middle. It's complete for a 1st down for St. John's at the 46-yard line.
Found his tight end crossing right there. Well, you got the safeties cheating up to the line of scrimmage to try to help support that run. You got man-on-man out there. You got to take your shots. When you got your tight end on a small defensive back, you got to take that shot. That's a nice pass by Palmer, picking up the 1st down.
Del Dobler on the reception for the Titans. They'll come out again in the wing formation to the right. High backfield. On the sweep, Marvin looks for a seam. He's got about 3, maybe 4. We'll see where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 49-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6. 6:41 to go. Clock is running, and now Marvin is down on the ground, it looks like. So officials timeout as they attend to the injury. And we really can't see who it is because the jerseys are getting dark, but I believe it was Marvin. He was at the bottom of that pile.
Taking up on that play.
You know, when that pile comes down on you, a lot of things go on down there. A lot of weight on top of the ball carrier.
BCSN is all about local teams, and one of our favorite teams is the Fry guys at Fry Heating and Cooling. Thank you, Fry, for making BCSN part of our community. Fry Heating, another great sponsor of BCSN. Taking a look there at the Whitmer sidelines, now at the injured player. Could have got the wind knocked out of him. And that's one of the linemen down there. Dominique Huckabee, 56. Ross Rector. He walks up. 6'1", 225-pound senior, as you see. And the Titans will have it 2nd and 6. They're at their own 49-yard line. They'll set the wing formation to the left. Motion to the right. Here comes a sweep to the short side of the field. And thrown for a loss is number 5, Brad Razor.
I tell you, you won't run wide with a lot of success against this speedy unit. They pursue the ball extremely well. You see right here, the ball comes out early, but you see 1, 2, 3 blue shirts over there making the stop.
That was Maletti on the ball carrier, had the number 5s backwards. Just under 6 minutes to go. 3rd down and 6 for the Titans. They trail 8-7. Palmer back to pass, 3-step drop. He's going deep on the fade pattern, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted. As Palmer underthrew his man a little bit. And a great defensive play for the Panthers, and it brings up a 4th down for St. John's. And with 5:42 to go, the clock is stopped. They will punt it away.
Well, you see right here, Speck goes from defender to offensive. You see him go up trying to catch the ball at his highest point. Just couldn't bring it in.
Punt is off. Pretty good one. It's going to hit inside the 20, bounce out of bounds at the 16-yard line, just across the 15. Whitmer will put it in play, 1st and 10, 5:35 to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, if you're Coach Folt and the Whitmer Panthers, right now you would love to string together a couple of 1st downs. You'd like to have a time-consuming drive, at least get 1, maybe 2 1st downs to get yourself in a position to, if you do have to punt, you're turning the field position. You're backed up kind of far right now. I don't expect to see anything but safe plays for the Whitmer Panthers.
Andrews lined up at tight end on the right. High backfield for the Panthers. Folt looks over the defense. Runs straight ahead to the line of scrimmage.
Tackle for St. John.
As Panthers have a new tailback in there. Heitno, number 20.
Another one of those younger Panthers, sophomore, 5'11", 184-pound sophomore. He has a ton of speed.
High formation, tight end to the right side. Folt looks over the defense, letting the clock run. Left side at the line of scrimmage, brought down, bring up a 3rd down and 10. Third down and 10 for the Panthers. With 4.5 to go, this is a big play here.
For the St. John's defense, you need to get the ball back. This is huge for St. John's. They can ill afford to give up another 1st down because that's going to cost them a couple of more minutes. They need to get the ball back right here.
Andrews in the wide slot. They run the reverse. All sorts of white jerseys, but a great cutback, and he's still on his feet. Holy smokes, there was a wall of white and a great cutback. Gets it back, but finally brought down to the line of scrimmage. That could have been a big loss, but as Jimmy Johnson carried the ball there on the reverse, it brings up 4th down. St. John should get very good field position out of here.
This is where you like to see your punter just get a hold of one. Get it out of there.
Punt is away. It bounces, and St. John's is going to let it die right there at the 47-yard line of Whitmer. Well, here we go. 3:27 to go in the ball game. It came down to this last year in the regular season game. St. John's wins on a field goal. They're in a position to move the ball again. Whitmer needs a stop.
Well, if you talk to both coaches, which we had a chance to do before the game, all you ask for is a chance for your team to be able to win it at the end. Let's stay close, see if we can win it at the end. Both teams have stayed close, see which one pulls it out here in the end.
Wing formation to the right. Split backs to the right. Wow, no, he keeps grinding. And oh, he looked like he had come to a dead stop at the line of scrimmage, and man, his power and strength just goes to show you keep them legs moving, bounce out, and he picks up about 4, 2nd down and 6.
Those extra reps that he does when he stays after practice to lift comes into play right here.
Whitmer gets the play from the sidelines. Clock running, 2:57 to go. 2nd down and 6 from the 43-yard line of Whitmer. Ballmer back to pass. He slips. Huck's under some pressure. He's got a man, and it is complete. Down to the 28-yard line of Whitmer.
How he caught that, I don't know. He beat double coverage. Jay Wheeler did. They had him double covered over there. They had him played high and low. You'll see it on the replay. Vollmer's foot slips out, but he steps up in the pocket, finds himself a throwing lane. And you see he beats the double coverage, beats Speck and Andrews, who had him double covered.
Great throw by Vollmer. 1st and 10, St. John's. 28-yard line of Whitmer. They're in the slush, the mud slush. 2:20 to go. Sweep to the short side. Wall. Across the line of scrimmage and picks up maybe 1. Actually, they're going to mark it right at the original line of scrimmage, so 2nd down and 10.
The center to quarterback exchange is going to be very pivotal here, because now we're in the mud. This is where, if you're going to have an exchange, it could happen right here. An exchange botch is what I'm trying to say.
They're going to need to pick up a few more yards before a field goal is going to help them here. It's a pretty long one right now. Wall left side. He stumbles ahead for about 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Be about a 43-yard field goal from this spot.
And that's tough sledding, because nothing but mud and wet down there.
Yeah, the ball. Go ahead, Steve.
You're not going to get a good spot, nowhere to put that ball at to try to get good footing. It's tough sledding down there.
We got a timeout on the field. St. John's is going to talk this over. 1:35 to go in the ball game. 3rd and a long 6, short 7, whichever way you want to look at it, but they're definitely going to need a 1st down here, or at least get it a little closer. On a dry field, this is probably doable for the kicker, but with the ball going to be heavy, the placement's going to be on some soft ground, even though they put it on a tee in high school. Getting that ball down on that tee in the right spot is going to be key if it comes down to that. So here we go.
That plant foot for the kicker is really nowhere, really good field wise for him to plant.
Everybody is on their feet. High formation. Receiver each side. Vollmer rolls to his right, steps up, it's under pressure. He's got to run with it. He tucks it, and he picks up about 3, and it's going to be 4th down. He did get it over to the drier part of the field, the left hash mark, and St. John's, with 1:21 to go, calls timeout.
Well, Chris Laser did a fine job, as you'll see right here, of running down the quarterback and bringing him down in open space, because it looks like he has a lot of real estate over there as he tucks it away. No one but he and Laser, and Chris comes up and grabs the leg and brings him down.
If Laser doesn't get him, he's going to have enough for a 1st down. Great play by Laser. So Houghton will come on and try to put the Titans ahead. So pretty much the season has come down to this for both these great programs.
It'll be amount to about a 36 or 37-yard field goal attempt. And he moved it to the left hash, so that does help. But it's a nasty, nasty angle for the kicker to try to come through.
Be a 42-yard attempt. The marker is on the 32-yard line. The snap, the hold, the ball is up. Is it got enough? It is not enough. It is just short and wide a little bit. And with 1:15 to go, Whitmer will take over 1st and 10. They lead 8-7.
But you see, he just tried to get enough under. He got more of it than I thought he would, just pushed it wide to the right. Had he just straightened it up, it looked like he had enough leg to get it over the crossbar. That was short and wide right. But this is not over. You still got to play 1:15. So if you're the Whitmer Panthers, you don't want to start celebrating too early.
St. John should have one timeout left. They'll be able to stop it once. That may not be enough. But just mark down another classic between these two.
Boy, has it ever. And have the big players for both teams. We touched on in the top of the telecast. Number 24, Kyle Andrews for Whitmer he's come up big. 3 big catches in the second half, 78 yards. And then the big touchdown runs of 62 yards for Marcus Waugh.
Right side to the line of scrimmage. And St. John's will call their last timeout with 1:10 to go.
And you see Speck holding on to that ball with both hands. Marcus Waugh over 100 yards rushing on the evening, 123 yards.
And with 1:10 to go, it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Whitmer Panthers. St. John's cannot stop the clock. And you can't say enough about how these two teams just battle each other. Just battle each other.
Just what we called before the game, a heavyweight championship fight. Almost Rocky-esque. Which team could take which other team's punch and stand up to it. And both teams have delivered haymaker after haymaker. Just right now, Whitmer is ahead on points.
They'll line up in the power I to the right. They give it to Speck right up the middle, and they try to rip the ball out. He goes down. The clock will run. We are down to 60 seconds to go in the ball game. And don't be surprised if 52 weeks from now these two aren't meeting again in South Toledo, battling for the same type of thing.
The stakes are all usually high when these two elite City League programs tangle and clash.
33 seconds to go. Folk will give it to Speck. He will be stopped, and when they mark the ball, that should be the ball game. And a big victory for the Whitmer Panthers after trailing 7-0 on the big Marcus Waugh run. What a drive they put together, kept their composure, went down the big halfback or end-around pass from Andrews, and the 2-point conversions would caught St. John's way off mark. And the Panthers will win and should assure themselves of a trip to the state playoffs next week.
Well, that's a fine job by the Whitmer coaching staff putting together that drive. They answered the knockdown punch by the St. John's Titans because St. John's had definitely delivered quite a shot to them to go up 7-0, but to show you the calm, cool collectedness of the Whitmer coaching staff to come right back and answer that with a 10-play, 65-yard drive, capped off by a Speck 1-yard plunge. I mean, that's just a fine job by the Whitmer coaching staff.
You can't say enough about it, and we'll come back and say a little more about it. The final score, the Whitmer Panthers 8, St. John's Jesuit Titans 7. You've been watching high school football on BCSN.
Ride with no worries with great tires from Tire Man Auto Centers. The Tire Man Signature Tire carries a 5-year wear-out warranty, a 30-day test drive guarantee, 24-hour roadside assistance, and free road hazard protection. There are no worries with the Tire Man Signature Tire. Stop in as we celebrate the grand opening of Tire Man's newest auto center on Holloway Road, just south of Airport Highway.
Doing it right, every car, every day.
There's a TV star in your neighborhood. There's another. They are just a few of the hundreds of local athletes seen 24 hours a day on Buckeye Cable System Sports Network. BCSN has featured over 500 local sports events, including basketball, tennis, softball, women's football, storm hockey, and mud hens, just to name a few. BCSN and our advertisers want to thank our local athletes for their shining example of commitment and sportsmanship. They are the stars of BCSN. If you're a business owner and want to be part of the team, call our advertising department at 419-724-2225.
Shop the Andersons for hundreds of bright ideas. New styles, low prices, light collections for every room, matching chandeliers, pendants, sconces, bath bars, styles and finishes for every decor. Traditional, elegant, rustic, romantic, casual, contemporary, recessed, track lights and ceiling fans, landscape and security. Come in and see more bright ideas at
The Andersons. More for your home.
Shooters, its Toledo tradition for 88 years, is the exclusive home for Buckeye and Wolverine Blazers. Join the growing group of hundreds of fans, alumni, school officials, and coaches who proudly wear their school blazer. The Blazers feature university-crested buttons and specially designed linings. Michigan Blazers are blue. Buckeye Blazers are black, scarlet, or gray, and all come in virtually all sizes for men and women. Buckeye and Wolverine Blazers, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, and the holidays.
Welcome back to Whitmer High School, the final 8-7 Whitmer. Let's go down to the sidelines with Steve Taylor.
Thanks, Oz. Standing on hand with our BCSN player of the game, Kyle Andrews. Kyle, it's got to feel good being a senior to not only get into the state playoffs, but to get a revenge victory here at home in your last home game.
Hey, if we would have went 9-1 or 1-9, I would have had St. John's on the list as a 1 win. So, you know, it feels good to beat them. They beat us 2 times last year, and they deserve it. So.
Kyle, I know you had to be down on yourself a little bit when you fumbled the ball after making a fine play. Did you feel like you had to do something to get your team back into this?
Yeah, I just knew our defense. You know, I trusted our defense, and I knew that they would pick me up, and we stepped it up from there, and then we shut them out.
Well, Kyle, normally you get it done on the offensive side of the ball, which you did tonight, but you got it done on the defensive side of the ball, coming up with a big-time fumble.
Yeah, I saw Marcus pop up. It popped up right out of Marcus's hands, and I just jumped on the ball. You know, it was right there. You got to take it when you can.
So, Kyle, how long will you get to enjoy this before you start looking ahead?
I'm looking ahead right now. Hopefully we have St. Francis again, and, you know, we'll go from there.
And St. Francis actually lost to Central tonight.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, look here. Congratulations. I'm going to let you enjoy this with your team. A fine victory tonight, a gut-wrenching victory for the Whitmer Panthers.
Yeah, it was great. It feels great to win.
Kyle Andrews, our player of the game. You're watching high school football on BCSN. We'll be back with much more in a moment.
Is going over on your minutes driving you crazy? Don't pay for those expensive minutes anymore. Instead, get the SureTight from Bimco. SureTight prevents you from using your cell phone during those nasty, expensive peak minutes. The SureTight is composed of a heavy-duty space-age polymer.
It's indestructible.
There's a smarter way to prevent outrageous cell phone bills. Get Cricket Unlimited with unlimited local and U.S. long-distance anytime minutes.
My name's Fry Guy, Sergeant Joe Fry Guy. Getting old, ignored, forgotten, expected to work day and night. Not me, the furnace. It was robbing the household of energy dollars, an obvious case of neglect. Fry Heating and Air Conditioning's Energy Savings Agreement can keep a good unit from going bad. Inspection, tune-up, parts and labor, all at a savings. Now there's no reason to be guilty of neglecting your furnace or air conditioner.
We're sorry.
Fry's Energy Savings Agreement. Kind of makes you feel all warm inside.
Welcome back to Whitmer. I'm standing on hand with the victorious coach, Dan Folt. And, Coach, you're doing a little bit of playoff shopping. It's got to feel pretty good.
It feels awesome. Like I told you ahead of time, you know, we were already in the playoff mode every week for the last 5 weeks, but this one was a big one. The Central game was big, and this one, you know, it puts you in. It puts you a little bit more excited going in. It was just an outstanding game on all 3 aspects: offense, defense, special teams.
When you can get it done like that, it makes it a lot easier. Talk about the resiliency of your kids to take a punch and to come right back.
You know, we talked about it all week long. What was special about tonight, it was Hall of Fame night, the 86 team getting inducted. We had Coach Gucciardo give us the pre-game speech. Coach Rubino lit the kids up this week, Coach Rose. So we brought a lot of the 86 spirit back, and I think the gods were looking out for us tonight.
Well, we likened this to a heavyweight championship fight. We said it would be interesting to see which team could take whoever's punch, and your kids were just resilient. And when you needed a big play, number 24 got it done for you.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, you know, St. John's is a great program, and this is a great rivalry game. Even when we scrimmaged them, it was a knock 'em out, drag 'em out fight. And, you know, we both respect each other. We both want to win very badly. But Kyle Andrews made some terrific plays tonight. Patrick Carmine getting in the end zone on the two-point conversion. JJ hit a couple big passes. And the young offensive lineman made some adjustments so that we could get things going in the second half, too.
We definitely touched on that, your young offensive line, 4 sophomores and a junior at the top of the teleclass. But, Coach, at halftime, I said that for Whitmer to win, they would have to get the ball into their big play players' hands, and indeed you did. Your coaching staff did a fine job of adjustments at halftime.
Well, we had to find out what they were going to do with Kyle. We had him in about every formation that we had in the first half. In the second half, we knew a little bit more what they were going to do. We didn't want to gamble early. In the second half, we took some of those gambles and found out how they were playing them because he is our go-to guy. We probably would like to go to him a little bit more, but he's playing defense too, and he gets a little bit tired. So he stepped up big tonight, and he stepped up big the last couple weeks to get us to this point.
So, Coach, how long do the Panthers get to enjoy this before you get to look ahead?
The coaching staff, you get about 24 hours, but the players will get off until Monday. They'll come in and watch this one, and then we'll start work on Tuesday for the playoffs, and that's always an exciting time.
Well, exciting time and a thrilling victory in thrilling fashion and some gutsy play calling by the Whitmer's coaching staff.
I'll take full credit because I'm either going to be the GOAT or I'm going to be the hero on that one. And, you know, when I called it, JJ's looking like I'm nuts and gave me the double take. And I just felt it in my system at that point in time. And thank God it worked out because I've been on the losing end of that call too. But he sucked them all in on it. And Carmine, thank God we work on it because he's a soccer player. And you never know what those guys are going to do.
Well, JJ had a lot to do with that because he waited till the last minute to pitch that ball out to him, allowed a defender to come to him. I mean, a great overall job, and congratulations on a big, big victory, and good luck in your state playoff run.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Coach Dan Folt of the victorious Whitmer Panthers. Ozzie and I will be back to wrap this thing up from Whitmer in a moment on BCSN.
I finally found it. The perfect childcare for busy moms like us.
And for kids like ours.
At the YMCA and JCC, the area's best childcare is now the most flexible.
So I can have a childcare schedule that fits my schedule, whether I need care every day or just a few hours a week.
They offer educational support, a chance to run, jump, and play, and the values I teach at home.
Call the YMCA or JCC today for the care your child deserves and the flexibility you need.
You want to get into shape, but you feel trapped at the computer. Well, while you're there, click here, lifestylesforladiesonly.com.
With 7 locations open 7 days a week, hundreds of exercise classes, there's something to fit even your busy schedule.
Plus, there's a supervised kids club, tanning, and best of all, a facility run by ladies for ladies. Nobody offers more, does it better. Click lifestylesforladiesonly.com for class schedules and start getting into shape today. Come on, you can do it.
Welcome back to Whitmer High School. Jim Oswald, Steve Taylor with you. Another great battle here between two City League powers, the St. John's Jesuit Titans and the Whitmer Panthers. Week 10, it comes down to a field goal at the end. St. John's doesn't make it. Whitmer, after trailing 7-0, come back and take an 8-7 win.
Some gutsy play calling by the Whitmer coaching staff, in particular the Kyle Andrews pass. And then right after that, the two-point conversion. But just a fine played game on both sides of the ball. My hat's off to both teams. Coach Pearson did a fine job of getting his team prepared, and they did just what we thought they would do. It just came up a little short.
It was another great classic here at the end of the season, as the Panthers will now advance to the Division I state playoffs next week. Of course, that'll be determined on Sunday. But a great game, It's become a great rivalry here for over the years, and for the City League to end their regular season with these kind of battles, it just shows what a great job these coaches do, what a great effort by these players in a class game.
Yeah, and kudos to the commissioner to putting these matchups later in the season where you have Central and St. Francis tangling tonight, Whitmer and St. John's. We couldn't have scripted it better if we'd have done it week by week.
We want to send congratulations to Coach Fote and the Whitmer Panthers as they will advance to the state playoffs with their 8-7 win over St. John's Jesuit. For Steve Taylor, I'm Jim Oswald. Good night, everybody.